The 1986 to 1987 NBA season was the 41st season of the National Basketball Association. The season began on October 31st, 1986 and ended on April 19th, 1987. This season was also known as the golden era of the NBA, featuring up to 23 future Hall of Fame players. The NBA logo was prominently displayed on the uniforms for the first time, becoming the first sports league in North America to do so. On April 17th, 3 Phoenix Suns players, James Edwards, Jay Humphries, and Grant Gosendrick. I don't know how to say his name, so correct me if you can. And 2 former players, Gar Harold and Mike Bratz, were indicted for cocaine trafficking at a popular Phoenix nightclub. Michael Jordan becomes the first player in NBA history to accumulate over 200 steals with over 100 blocks in a season. Larry Bird becomes the first player in NBA history to enter the 50-40-90 club. Boston Celtics top draft pick Len Bias died of a cocaine overdose barely 2 days after the draft. The #1 draft pick was Brad Daugherty, selected by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Spot World, welcome to another episode of NBA Rap. Those are some quick facts about the season. Help this number go up by leaving a like, hitting that sub. Let's get to the team records. The Los Angeles Lakers led the league and the West with a 65-win, 17-loss record, followed by the Dallas Mavericks, 55-27, Portland Trailblazers, 49-33, Utah Jazz, 44-38, Golden State Warriors, 42-40, Houston Rockets, 42-40, Seattle Supersonics, 39-43, and Denver Nuggets, 37-46. Missing the playoffs were the Phoenix Suns, 36-46, Sacramento Kings, 29-53, San Antonio Spurs, 28-54, and Los Angeles Clippers, 12 wins, 70 losses. The East was led by the Boston Celtics, 59 wins, 23 losses, followed by the Atlanta Hawks, 57-25, Detroit Pistons, 52-30, Milwaukee Bucks, 50-32, Philadelphia 76ers, 45-37, Washington Bullets, 42-40, Indiana Pacers, 41-41, and Chicago Bulls, 40-42. Missing the playoffs were the Cleveland Cavaliers, 31-51, New Jersey Nets, 24-58, and New York Knicks, 24 wins, 58 losses. Let's jump into our season leaders in All-Star Game. Leading the league in scoring, Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 37.1 points per game. Leading the league in assists, Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 12.2 assists per game. The rebounds leader went to Charles Barkley of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 14.6 rebounds per game. The steals leader, Alvin Robertson of the San Antonio Spurs, averaging 3.2 steals per game. The blocks leader went to Mark Eaton of the Utah Jazz, averaging 4 blocks per game. The 37th National Basketball Association All-Star Game was played on February 8, 1987 at Seattle's Kingdome. This was the highest scoring All-Star Game up to this point, setting records for combined points and free throws made. Leading the game in scoring with 34 points was hometown hero Tom Chambers of the Seattle Supersonics. A late roster fill-in for the Rockets, Ralph Sampson. Chambers wrapped his night with the game's MVP. Michael Jordan won his first slam dunk contest, and the three-point shootout was won for the second time in a row by Larry Bird. The Eastern Conference All-Stars were Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale of the Boston Celtics, Julius Erving, Charles Barkley, and Maurice Cheeks of the Philadelphia 76ers, Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer of the Detroit Pistons, Moses Malone and Jeff Malone of the Washington Bullets. They were coached by K.C. Jones of the Boston Celtics. The Western Conference All-Stars were Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers, Alvin Robertson of the San Antonio Spurs, Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, Tom Chambers of the Seattle Supersonics, Sleepy Floyd and Joe Barry Carroll of the Golden State Warriors, Rolando Blackman and Mark Aguirre of the Dallas Mavericks, Walter Davis of the Phoenix Suns, and Alice English of the Denver Nuggets. They were coached by Pat Riley of the Los Angeles Lakers. We're gonna make our way over to the award winners. And just so you know, we need that Rookie of the Year award here in Spot World. So just hit that like button and hit that sub button. The MVP of the season went to Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 23.9 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 12.2 assists per game. The Rookie of the Year went to Chuck Person of the Indiana Pacers, averaging 18.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. The Defensive Player of the Year went to Michael Cooper of the Los Angeles Lakers. The Sixth Man of the Year went to Ricky Pierce of the Milwaukee Bucks, averaging 19.5 points, points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game in 31.7 minutes per game. The most improved player went to Dale Ellis of the Seattle Supersonics, averaging 24.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 2.9 assists per game. The coach of the year went to Mike Schuler of the Portland Trailblazers. Making the All-NBA first team, Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics, averaging 28.1 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 7.6 assists per game. Kevin McHale of the Boston Celtics, averaging 26.1 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game. Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, averaging 23.4 points, 11.4 rebounds, and 3.4 blocks per game. Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 37.1 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game. And Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 23.9 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 12.2 assists per game. On the All-NBA second team, Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks, averaging 29 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game. Charles Barkley of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 23 points, 14.6 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game. Moses Malone of the Washington Bullets, averaging 24.1 points, 11.3 rebounds, and 1.6 assists per game. Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons, averaging 20.6 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. And Thad Lever of the Denver Nuggets, averaging 18.9 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. Making the All-NBA rookie team, John Hot Rod Williams of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Roy Tarpley of the Dallas Mavericks, Chuck Person of the Indiana Pacers, and Ron Harper and Brad Daugherty of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Making the NBA All-Defensive First Team, Kevin McHale and Dennis Johnson of the Boston Celtics, Michael Cooper of the Los Angeles Lakers, Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, and Alvin Robertson of the San Antonio Spurs. Making the NBA All-Defensive Second Team, Paul Presley of the Milwaukee Bucks, Rodney McRae of the Houston Rockets, Mark Eaton of the Utah Jazz, Maurice Cheeks of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Derek Harper of the Dallas Mavericks. Let's make our way to the most important part of the season, the playoffs. In the Eastern Conference first round, Boston swept Chicago 3-0. Milwaukee defeated Philadelphia 3-2. Detroit swept Washington, and Atlanta beat Indiana. In the Western Conference first round, the Los Angeles Lakers swept Denver. Golden State defeated Utah 3-2. Houston won over Portland 3-1, and Seattle eliminated Dallas 3-1. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, Detroit defeated Atlanta 4-1, and Boston beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series. In the Western Conference semifinals, Seattle won over Houston 4-2, and the Los Angeles Lakers eliminated Golden State 4-1. In the Eastern Conference finals, Boston defeated Detroit in 7 games to advance to the finals. And in the Western Conference finals, the Lakers swept Seattle to advance to the finals. The 1987 NBA Finals was played through June 2nd to June 14th, featuring the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Boston Celtics. This was the first NBA championship series conducted entirely in June. Game 1 took place at the Forum in Inglewood, California. The Lakers were coming off a 4-game sweep of the Seattle Supersonics, while the Celtics were coming off a long 7-game series win over the Detroit Pistons. Magic Johnson led the way with 29 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds, as well as no turnovers. James Worthy also had a big performance with 33 points and 9 rebounds, paving the way to a 126-113 win. Although the Celtics attempted to concentrate on stopping Magic, he was still able to post a big 22-point, 20-assist double-double. And with Kareem still proving he was a threat at this late point of his career, shooting 10 for 14 and scoring 23 points, the Lakers took Game 2 141-122. Now at home, the Celtics were able to bounce back behind Larry Bird's 30-point, 12-rebound performance. Dennis Johnson finished with 26 points, and Robert Parrish, even though scoreless and in foul trouble, played great defense. Boston won 109-103. The Celtics came into Game 4 hot at home, leading 55-47 going into halftime, and with 5 of their players scoring in double digits, they were up by as many as 16 points. However, the Lakers fought back hard to cut the lead to 85-78 going into the fourth. The fourth quarter was intense and filled with wild events of each team taking the lead. Ultimately, Magic Johnson was able to hit a clutch hook shot with just 2 seconds left on the clock to win the game 107-106 and take a 3-1 lead. Game 5, the third straight in the Boston Garden, saw Danny Ainge nailing 5 of 6 from the 3-point line and the Celtics gaining early control. And with Dennis Johnson's 25-point, 11-assist performance, the C's took the game 123-108. By halftime of Game 6, the Celtics looked like they would be pushing the series to Game 7, leading 56-51 by half and holding Magic Johnson to only 4 points. But the Lakers scored the first 3 baskets coming out the half, going up 57-56 and never gave up the lead again. The Lakers outscored the Celtics 30-12 in the third quarter quarter for an 18-point turnaround, mostly on fast breaks, displaying Showtime at its finest. Kareem led the team with 32 points, and Magic Johnson bounced back, finishing the game with 16 points, 19 assists, and 8 rebounds. The Lakers wrapped their season up with a 106-93 win and the championship. Magic Johnson was named the Finals MVP, averaging 26.2 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, and 2.3 steals per game in 6 games. Spot World, that wraps up today's episode of NBA Rap. Hit that like button if you here. Hit that sub button if you here. I appreciate it. Comment on the video anything about ball. The season is coming up soon. If you want to keep learning more about ball, you can do that right there.